This week's episode is brought to you by Marco's Pizza. Monday and Tuesday nights are Carol U nights at Marco's Pizza in Waukesha. Mention you're a Carol student and receive 25% off your entire online or delivery order. Marco's Pizza, every store, every day, the Italian way. Enjoy the episode. Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of the See You in Van Mail podcast. Once again, my name is Sam Gobert, Carol's Sports Information Director and your host for this episode. Today, we're glad to have senior women's lacrosse player Clara Jelacic joining us. Clara, thanks for coming on.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Clara, why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself right away. Tell us who you are, for those who don't know, what position you play, what's your major, and what's your favorite TV show?
So I'm Clara. I am from Waukesha. I went to Waukesha West. As for my position, I switch between attack and midfield. There's a little bit of disagreement between Hodge and I on that one. You can ask him about it. Mostly attack, and when they need me at mid, I go there. As for a favorite TV show, I don't really have one. I just finished Game of Thrones. Have you seen that one?
I haven't watched Game of Thrones all the way through, but I've watched a good chunk of it, and it's very, very good.
Why didn't you finish it?
Because I have a very short attention span, and if I'm not paying attention 100% to the TV show, then it's just not gonna. I'm gonna feel bad because I'm gonna miss something. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but otherwise, I thought it was really good. Where did you finish it all the way through?
Yeah, I just finished it maybe a week ago. It was good. I understand why people didn't like the last season that much, but it was good. I don't have any complaints really.
Yeah, I mean, I think I stopped a couple seasons beforehand, and like it's super good and everything, but like I need to be able to I need to set aside time and sit down and actually watch it. Otherwise, I just look at my phone while it's in the background, and that's not good. So
yeah, and I feel like that one you miss so much then.
Oh yeah,
like you'll miss so much.
Blink and you miss it. Yeah, totally. So Clara, I guess start by telling us a little bit about how you got into the sport of lacrosse. I mean, lacrosse compared to out east on the East Coast, it's not as big. In the Midwest, it's growing. But I guess how did you get into the sport?
I really didn't know about lacrosse until I got to high school. I played basketball, and some of the girls, the older girls, were on the lacrosse team, and they were trying to get me to play. Whether they thought it was because I was going to be like good or because they just needed girls, I don't know. But I asked my parents, and they actually didn't let me play my freshman year. And then because it's growing, they have it was like bring your friend to lacrosse practice day.
Oh.
And one of my friends brought me, and it was fun. Like, it's definitely more of a chill environment because not a lot of people know about it. But yeah, so then sophomore year, my parents let me play, and then I've been playing ever since.
Yeah, it just kind of clicked for you. I guess what did click for you? What made you feel like, yeah, this is actually something I really enjoy doing?
It did like come kind of naturally to me, but also there was a lot of like connections between other sports. So I was able to like apply a lot of like my basketball knowledge to how like the offense or defense moves. So it's kind of like an easy transition. And then not actually like touching the ball like with your hands, like having a different object to use was different for me. And I just thought it was like another added challenge, something new. So
Cool. Yeah, and over time you just kind of got better and better at it, and by your senior year here, you were being recruited to Carroll. So I mean, how did you find out, I guess, about Carroll's lacrosse program?
So my high school coach is actually now like the defensive coach here, Bill. And then I think it was my junior year summer going into senior year maybe. I played summer lacrosse, and Hodge was actually the coach.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was bothering me about like coming and playing. Um, but like with PT, I was only applying to schools with like a direct physical therapy program. I
Yep.
never like actually thought about playing lacrosse. It was never like a part of the plan. It was just like an added bonus coming to Carroll. Um, Sometimes when I think about it, I don't even know if like I would have played if I didn't know Hodge beforehand. Like knowing him like as a coach and as a person, I think really helped in like the decision to play.
Right. I get you
Mm-hmm.
totally. Yeah. I mean, at that time, 4 years ago, the program was only on its second year, and yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of change since then. I guess what going into it, what thoughts did you first have like when you started playing lacrosse? You're like, oh man, like this is a completely new program. Like there's a bunch of people my age still or just a little bit older than me on the team.
I think my mindset going into it was just to have fun. Um, Courtney on the team, like we played together in high school. I thought, I think we all like kind of knew that because we had such a big freshman class that we were going to have to kind of step up. And I think right away we had good like teamwork, which helped us kind of move forward and improve on what was like laid as the foundation of the team.
Right. You have a close knit group right now out of the seniors that you all are junior senior. After the spring, it kind of varies on what you guys are called as a class wise, but your
Yeah.
group, your class is a very small, and not small, but very close knit group, and you all lean on each other, and that I think that's been the biggest key over the past 4 years with your team progressing the way it has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what's your favorite part about not only that close knit group, but also the team in general, whether it be this year's team, where you have a couple new freshmen, or last year's team when you guys were unfortunately cut short in the spring. What was your like favorite part or favorite team dynamic?
Um, there's a lot. Like, I think all the girls on the team are really special. They're genuinely good people. Um, and there's just like a really good attitude with everything. Um, there's a lot of things that like as student athletes you can complain about. And I just think that we're not a team where we get frustrated or either mad at like our schedules or at each other or at coach. Like we just have a good like sense of this is for fun. Like if we're having fun, like we're gonna play better. Um, and also I think everyone on the team wants the best for everyone else. I know like I've been a part of teams where if one person was succeeding, you kind of had other people being negative towards it. And you weren't always feeling like you were supported. And with this team, like I've always felt so much support with everything, like with lacrosse, like in school, outside, like it's a really good just dynamic of feeling like a safe spot.
Yeah, I can see that and I can feel that because, I don't want to embarrass you or anything, but you and Michaela Johnson are arguably the two top players in this program's history with your goals and your points that you all score per game and stuff. And even though you two are at the top, like there's still a ton of ball sharing between your teammates. Everybody gets looks, everybody gets reps, and there's no, besides you two, there's no really one star on the team. There, the team without Courtney Carls is not the same. With team without Colleen is not the same. So that's
Yeah.
what I've seen. When you agree to that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think like one like example is sophomore year we played SUNY Canton and like I had a good game and Hodge knew like the coaches and they were always like, oh, like that number nine, like that number nine. And then when we played them this past year for spring break, they face guarded me thinking that like that would stop like anything. And then you have like the whole team scoring. Like it didn't do anything. It didn't change anything. And I just think that that like kind of shows that like everyone plays their part. There's no one person, two people who make up the team. And yeah, when you're saying like that the team isn't the same without someone, I think it would be weird for me personally, thinking of being on a team without Courtney Carls, just because we started together like throughout high school and college, like everyone plays their role.
Totally. Yeah. Everybody sees that. And I think it's evident with this group, and that's why you guys have had the success that you've had. So yeah. Moving off of that, I guess, talk about, obviously spring was hard for you all, not only because of quarantine, but because you were in the middle of your season. You were on a good start to the season, and then, everybody got the news of the coronavirus spreading, and we all had to stop what we were doing and cancel the rest of the season. I guess if you don't mind, talk about that a little bit. Like, how did your team take that news?
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to hear. But going back to like how I said that we just have a really good attitude so we were obviously in Florida. We were on like our spring break trip. And we were like all in one of like our houses, and we got the news, and we were obviously like really sad. And I think we could have all just started complaining and being like really negative about it all. But honestly, we had kind of a positive outlook because we were hearing about teams that were traveling to like the destination of their spring break trip and then getting on the field and having the game be canceled. So like we were really able to put it into like perspective of what other teams were at and where we were at. And it's sad that like Tasha and Fair, like that was their last year. But I also think that we were able to look forward, because we do have a lot of juniors at the time and freshmen, so we're still kind of like young.
Right. Yeah. You guys had the strong outlook and the strong freshman class that you just mentioned too, and now you even add on to that freshman class, and the group that were freshmen last year now can have that opportunity to play for 4 more years and not have that year taken away from them. So
Yeah.
that's really cool for them. During quarantine, I guess, after everything kind of went crazy for a little bit, what were some of the things that you did to stay active and keep your mind healthy?
If I'm being honest, like those however many months, like 3-4 months, like are such a blur to me. Like I have the worst memory, and then when it's something that you don't even want to like remember, makes it worse. But I babysat for Hodge, his 2 kids, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So they're like balls of energy. So that definitely kept me active. They always wanted to walk to Carroll. So that was like a 20-minute walk. And then they call it the water fountain. And maybe some people will know like what I'm talking about, but it's outside of Jaharis and Rankin. It's this little like pebble thing that just like has water. It's not really a waterfall, but they loved that. And they wanted to like play in it. So like almost every day we walked here, ran around, played, and then went back. What else did I do? Disc golf. That's really fun. Have you ever played disc golf?
I played a little bit back in my undergrad days.
Yeah.
Whitewater had a course, like a small unkept course that we would just go out and mess around at.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. I love different activities that aren't super mainstream, like disc golf, or like I rock climb. That's really fun. Just other things that aren't everything that everyone's doing. The one other thing, which like I don't do now, but I played Call of Duty for like the first time. And I was like, there was maybe a week where I was like into it and I was playing. I was so proud of myself when I don't know what I'm talking about. I just like know what I'm told. So I was playing against bots. So like not real people.
Yep.
And the proudest moment was when I went from like the recruits or like the lowest one to like normal.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you play Call of Duty,
Yep. I do know what
probably
you're talking
better.
about. Did you have any online matches against real people, or were you not ready for that yet?
No, no. There was one time, and I don't even know what I'm talking about, but like I was playing against the bots and then I was on Justin's account and
Yep.
one of his friends came into what I was doing. I don't know. He just like randomly joined in, but I didn't even know. And it was like all I could think about was like the movie Get Out with like the guy that runs. I don't know if you know like the scene, but like the guy runs and then he just like turns. That's what I saw every time. I would see him like running at me, turn, go behind and like kill me from behind. And it happened like 5 times in a row. I was like, who is this person? What's going on?
Oh man. No,
Yeah.
I mean it's kind of taken off that game, but now you have experience, and I'm sure one day that you'll get the itch to go back and play it again.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe when I have
Yeah, exactly. Um, it's taken up some of that time is probably your assistant manager position at Culver's here on Sunset, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
How did you get that job?
Um so I actually worked there in high school. I think like sophomore and junior year of high school. And then like I just got a different job. I went to like TJ Maxx or whatever. And then with quarantine, like I usually am coaching in the summer, whether it's like lacrosse or basketball or whatever. Um, but that wasn't happening. And then I was supposed to start babysitting for Hodge earlier in the summer, and that wasn't happening. Um, so I kind of went back thinking like I would just stay for the summer. And they were like so excited because some of the managers were the same. And then I kind of was thinking I wouldn't stay for like the school year. And then they like asked me if I wanted to be a manager. I think they were trying to like get me to stay on, but it's fun. Two of the managers I actually worked with when I was in high school, like they were in high school with me. So
So cool. Yeah, so you know some of them already, and it's kind of easy to do.
yeah,
So
one of them is Sabrina Seeger. She's
okay, yeah.
strength and conditioning. She played soccer. So yeah, it's fun. And there's the perk of getting free food, which like you can't turn that down.
No.
Yeah.
So what's the secret code for when we go to that Culver's? We say, hey, the bird's in the nest, and we get a free food. Is there a secret code for that for us?
There's not a code.
Okay.
Maybe if you come in when I'm working, I can manage like a free scoop of custard.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, just ask Clara.
for anybody listening, make sure you go to Culver's, ask for Clara, and maybe you'll get a
Yes.
free scoop.
Yes. Just
Awesome.
just say see you in Van Mail.
Yeah.
That'll be the code word.
Code word. See you in Van Mail. Perfect.
Yes. Only
All
people
right.
who watch the podcast will get
Exactly.
it.
Only they'll understand it. Great. It's a great marketing technique.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Um, Well, Claire, we're kind of moving along here. I have some quick questions. If you tuned in last week, we asked the women's soccer team some questions about their teammates and stuff.
Mhm.
And I know this team a little bit better, and I had some questions and some comparisons to ask you about your teammates and who you think would either win in the matchup or rather face off against. So we'll get into that. So my first question. Who would win in a fight from your team? Vladimir Putin or Erica Beckman?
Oh man. The people who don't know her are gonna be so confused.
Yep.
Um,
So for background, Erica Beckman is a freshman on the team. Well, she was a freshman last year, fresh sophomore academically. She, when I met her, she continuously asked me if I want a Vladimir Putin bobblehead for my desk. She's a big fan of Russia, which is a bit of a red flag, but we'll move on from that. So I
yeah.
wanted to know if there came to an opportunity for a fight, who would win in the fight, Erica or Vladimir Putin?
Okay. It would be Putin, but like maybe I think Erica would have like a chance if like it was on skates because like she plays hockey.
Okay.
So like if she was in like her hockey gear, I think she would win. I was trying to see if on the board she usually is like drawing stuff. I'm in Hodge's office, and she's usually like drawing things on the board that are kind of random. But yeah, she always has like the Russian word of the day that like we're supposed to learn. But
it's a new school day. You got to learn something outside of your regular classes.
yes, exactly.
That's smart. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Who is the better baker, Martha Stewart or Courtney Wright? I've been told that Courtney Wright.
Yes. Yes. I would eat anything Courtney Wright makes. Like it's made with love. That's the main thing. Is like if she's making it for you, like you just feel like warm. If that makes sense.
Well, that's good.
No, I love Courtney Wright. She is like the entertainment for our team. She came into practice on Monday wearing like a cow suit, like you know like how sumo wrestler suits, they're like that plastic material and they're like inflated almost.
Yeah.
She had that for cow, her and Lexi.
Okay.
And like that's normal for us, which I love.
Someone showing up in a random costume.
Yes.
That's what's so funny about your team is just the randomness behind everything.
Yeah.
It's great.
Every day you just don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. So this question is kind of towards you. Who would you rather have played defense against you? So you're going to score a goal. Who would you rather be in front of the goal? A grizzly bear or a Colleen Porter?
I think I'd pick Colleen. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I could keep cool like in front of a grizzly bear, but Colleen. So the past like I'm gonna say the past 2 seasons, typically in practice, like she's guarding me. Yeah. And we've become very like close through that. And so we're usually like behind GLE, so like behind the cage.
Yep.
Kind of a little bit further away from people. So like if I have anything that like I'm talking about, like she listens but also like doesn't. Like she makes me feel like I'm heard but doesn't judge anything that I'm saying. So she's good to have around.
A good listener.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure you two have had your fair share of offensive defensive battles too over the year then in practice.
Yes. I don't bruise easily. So like she hasn't given me a lot of bruises, but out of all the people on the team, she gives the most bruises. Like full arm, black and blue.
Yep. I saw she had that yesterday.
Yes.
Which is good for a defender. Yeah.
Yeah. It's brutal, but it's what we need. Good. You know.
So those are kind of those questions that I thought of. I hope everybody enjoyed those. I think those are fun to put together.
Yeah.
So I guess Clara, we're kind of winding down here. I threw this in at the end too. Is there a fact about you that people may not know? I know for me, I didn't know that you were a rock climber, and so I wanted to know if there was any other facts that people didn't know about you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a rock climber because that makes it seem like I'm good, but something that people don't know. I mean, I said that I played basketball. I played basketball in high school.
Right.
And I think like when you apply for Carroll, there's like, what are you interested in? And they'll like list the sports. I feel pretty confident that at one point I had like the basketball like box checked, but I think I took it off because I was like, no, like I'm not gonna play. But I always think about it. I'm like, what would have happened if I would have played basketball here
instead of lacrosse? That would have been funny.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
I'll have to do a jersey swap and put you on a basketball player.
Yeah, I honestly, so I'll go in the gym and like shoot around sometimes. I think I'm better than I was in high school. Like in high school, I was just like so in my head, like I don't know. Now it's just like fun and I don't really care if the ball goes in or not.
Yeah.
But
it's all about just being relaxed about it,
Mm-hmm.
Can't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, Clara, do you have anything else? I almost called you Claire. Sorry. Clara,
That's
is there
okay. I get it.
anything else you'd like to say?
Um, Not really. Just thank you for everything you do. I mean, I know a lot of the athletes have like recognized the difference that's happened on like social media and like doing the podcast and just like the I don't know what you call it, but like the pictures that you like make, the little graphics.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it makes like us as like teams feel kind of like cooler. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Cool. I appreciate that. I work hard to make sure that you all have the best experience here that you can. So, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So that'll do it for this week's episode of See You in Van Mail podcast. If you're hearing this, it should come out on Friday of this week. Clara, thanks again for tuning in.
Thanks for having me.
Go Piles.
Woo.